NorCal Tea Party Radio is sponsored by Del Rapini. Del has been involved with the Tea Party since April of 2009. A retired developer, Del has a passion to serve and restore his country to her fundamental principles. This is just one way that he has chosen to accomplish his goal. Each month we need sponsors to offset the cost of this program. For information on how you can become a sponsor, go to norcalteaparty.org.
Gather here to reunite, join the revolution. We are strong and standing tall, upholding the Constitution.
Welcome back to We the People Radio. Before we get back to our guest, Ben Mavey, who is just extremely interesting, I want to mention to you that you can go to our website, norcalteaparty.com, and you can do a number of things. You can give us feedback on the radio show. Give us ideas of people you would like to hear from. Also, let us know what you think about the radio show. And upcoming events, we are going to be having a bus tour and a rally. The bus tour will be launched at the rally at the Capitol on April 14th, right here in Sacramento, starting at noon. You can go to our website and get all the information you need about both of those events, the rally and the bus tour. Lots of other events as well about our meetings. Our next meeting is next Thursday in Auburn. You can get all the information about that. We'll have Tim Donnelly there, Assemblyman Tim Donnelly, who tried to repeal the DREAM Act, and we will be having dinner as well. So please go to our website, norcalteaparty.com. Thank you. Welcome back, Ben.
Hey, thanks, Ginny.
Hey, I had to interrupt you, but I want to go back to these pensions. Could any of that money be used for any unfunded liabilities that we have?
I think it would be a shame if that happened, but I can definitely see that happening. Right now, we really don't know what our unfunded pension liability is at PCWA at the Water Agency. As I'm sure your listeners are aware that this is a huge problem throughout the state, throughout the country, the unfunded liability problem. And one of the problems is, and I remember I studied finance when I was in school, and one of my professors years ago, before this was even on the radar, before Accounting Standards Board started requiring companies and governments to account for these unfunded liabilities and creating a standard on expected rates of return. This has been an issue for a long time, growing and blooming, mushrooming out of control. The CalPERS board, the California, was it?
Public Utilities.
Public Employees Retirement
Public Employees, yeah.
System Board has a target rate of return on their portfolio, or an expected rate of return on their portfolio. Right now, I believe it's 7.75%, and this has been steadily lowered over the last few years, and this expected return is expected to go even lower, because their expectations aren't reasonable. But what this does to us is right now we have this fund. Every paycheck that we send out to our employees, we're promising a benefit when they retire that we're going to continue to pay them after they're no longer working for us. For us to finance that, we have to save money every year. Well, if we're expecting an 8% return on our portfolio, then we can figure, and we have an estimate of when our employee is going to retire, then we can guess how much money we're going to need to fund their retirement. Well, if we're overshooting the mark, if we're overestimating the returns we're going to get, then we're not saving enough, and we already know we're not saving enough. So we don't know what our unfunded liability is. Last year, PERS was telling PCWA that based on their 7.75% expected return, we have about a $20 million unfunded liability. If you believe that these guys out of Stanford who keep on releasing reports about how badly PERS is underfunded, I wouldn't be surprised if we're closer to $80 million unfunded.
Wow.
And so where's that money going to come from? I mean, we're not going to be able to say to our pensioners, sorry, tough beans, you're out of luck. That money's someone's going to pay for that, whether it's taxpayers, ratepayers, or it comes out of the Middle Fork project revenue. Someone's going to pay for it.
Wow. Okay, so on maybe a different note, Placer County Water Agency has been in the news for handing out across the board pay raises. Now, how can your board justify handing out these raises right now?
Well, if you ask me, they can't, but they'll try really hard. I was literally sick when I left our board meeting after the vote for the raises. We have a gifted, a talented, and experienced general manager. His name is Dave Brenninger. He's an exceptional manager, and he's put together a professional staff. I mean, who are great at what they do, probably some of the best at what they do, and we have a capable crew. And what employer doesn't want to pay their employees well? Mm-hmm. But these are hard times, mm-hmm. and frankly, I think our guys are well paid, and the benefits that we offer are second to none. I mean, we are the envy of everyone around for the benefits that we offer. These are stinking hard times. People are hurting. Businesses are going under. Businesses that are still alive. The owners feel lucky or happy. Mm-hmm. People are working harder for less. Mm-hmm. They're working longer hours, or some cases they're
for less money.
Some employees are working mm-hmm. Shorter hours, whatever hours they can get, again for less money. How callous and cruel and insensitive to hand out raises right now.
Well, I know what it's like personally to be on a board and be the minority voting for fiscal responsibility. And that's why I resigned from the Tea Party Patriots National Board. So I can't imagine you on the scale that you're on, where you see taxpayer dollars used and abused, knowing that you're one of those taxpayers as well. So what's the outcome going to be on this? Is it a done deal? Are the raises there?
The raises are done and gone. It's a done deal. See, and this is one of the problems with government in California. There's this law called they call it the Brown Act. As soon as you're elected or appointed to any position in California, you're taught about the Brown Act, and you're told not to discuss any items that are under the purview of your agency or board that you sit on outside of public meetings, because you could very well be breaking the law.
So let me understand this. I hate to interrupt you, but I want to make sure I got this clear. In other words, you have a colleague on the board, and you can't call up that colleague and talk about anything and try to get some sense into their head. You can't lobby them.
and this is where it gets tricky. Is you can't build the law says you can't build consensus outside of a public meeting. And so I can call all of my colleagues and wish them a happy birthday and talk to them. But as soon as I start talking to more than one of them, there's 5 members on my board, so three votes on the board make a majority. And so if I talk to 2 of my board colleagues about the same issue, then I could be violating the law. And so I'm left to talk to one. And when you get
what happens if you talk to one day and you wait a month and you talk to the other one? Does that count?
Yeah, that's I don't know if it's the courts or the law itself that have decided that that's called a meeting in series, and you'd still be violating the law. So anyway, it makes it really hard to build a consensus in a board meeting, because when you get in a board meeting, a public meeting, a government meeting, we're not only are we taking minutes, but we're creating an audio tape. We're recording the meeting. Again, and if you want to be a realist, you have to talk about human nature and government, the nature of government. We know what the nature of government is. It's bureaucracy, inefficiency, wastefulness, tyranny, whatever you want to call it. And and I'm not being cynical. That's real. And,
yes, it is.
But our job as citizens is to watch over government and make sure that we don't, and try to eliminate the waste. Try to rein back the tyranny and the people. We have to work. It's a job for us to stay in control. And I don't want to get into the Tea Party Patriots inner struggles, but on any board, you're going to have the same. You're always going to have fights. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, the people who make the decision are the people who elect the board. Whether it's the Tea Party Patriots or the Placer County Water Agency, we need to hold our board members accountable. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Is the voters need to pay attention. Voters need to find out how their representatives are voting, and either get a new representative in there on the board, or make sure that they feel pressure to start representing you and looking out for you.
Well, at this upcoming election, we are going to be sending out a report card. And I will count on you to give us some information so that we know where these people stand on fiscal responsibility. I think it is important. These local government is extremely important for us to get involved in. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Your assemblymen, your state senators, your U.S. congressperson, your U.S. senator, these guys start at a local level.
Okay. Hey, Ben, I told you before when we got started that this was going to be the fastest 30 minutes of our life, and was it?
Oh, it was. Thank you so much, Jenny, for having me on.
Thank you for coming. I want to thank all you listeners, your faithful listeners. I've been getting lots of feedback from you, and it's been very encouraging. Please go to our website to get more information of any events or upcoming meetings at NorCalTeaParty.com. That's NorCalTeaParty.com. Next week, our guest will be Jim Donnell, and he will be discussing with us the fair tax. Is there such thing as a fair tax? I hope that you have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Join us next week, same time, same place, KTKZ 1380 Radio. Goodbye.
Together, kid, reunite, join the revolution. We are strong and standing tall, upholding the Constitution.
How to get involved? Individuals who want to become part of the NorCal Tea Party Patriots by attending meetings, events, or receiving action alerts, go to our website at NorCalTeaPartyPatriots.org. By signing in as a member, you'll receive our newsletter and action alerts. So get involved. NorCalTeaPartyPatriots.org.